Hi Nicole, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, it's nice to see you back here from our evaluation that we had last week, and I'm glad that you agreed to do therapy because I think it will be something that you find helpful and to really help your voice as you begin a new job in the next couple weeks. So today we are going to target your vocal hyperfunction, and also we're going to aim at reducing the effort of talking. And you mentioned several times that you just get so tired, you just fatigue very easily, and right now you're teaching a class that you said that you teach in the afternoons and your voice just gets very tired. So we're going to try to reduce that effort of talking by reducing those hard glottal onsets, like when you talk, if you are in your class and you're like, how are you, to your class, and really you're using some hard words at the beginning of your phrases, which I think is impacting that fatigue. So we're going to do that through a therapy called chanting, and I will warn you ahead of time, it's very silly, and but I'll do it right along with you, and we can both feel funny together. So one of the main goals to this therapy is to increase your breath support, because if you're talking fast, which was one thing that we discussed in our last session, you're going to have reduced breath support very quickly. And we also want to reduce that effort of talking by reducing, once again, that hard glottal onsets that you're often using when you speak. And we're going to start doing that opposed to using face and neck tension, which is what you're doing now when you produce your voice. Because when you're doing that, you're clamping down on your larynx and really putting a lot of pressure on it so that you have enough air to get out those words that you want to say. Do you feel like at the end of your phrases you're running out of air?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we're going to try to eliminate that. Because with that hyperfunction, your larynx is really high up, and your larynx is right here, so you can feel it. And do you feel like it's pretty high up in your throat a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we want to drop your larynx into just a lower position. We also want to create a consistent opening and closing of your vocal folds, because during phonation, our vocal folds should be opening and closing at pretty much at a consistent rate with each other, 50-50 open and closed. And right now, as we saw during your endoscopy last week, your false vocal folds are vibrating, and we don't want that because it's creating that tension and reduced airway, and also just that increased effort in talking. So in this approach of chanting, our goal is to continuously run our words together. So you're basically going to be chanting on one pitch. You're going to be very monotone, show no intonation, and show no prosody. Your pitch will be a little bit higher than you're used to talking, but this is just a form of therapy. We're not going to go around chanting. You don't have to teach your class chanting. So my goal and the purpose of this exercise are for you to use a softer onset and prolongation of vowels. So why don't you pick up your book and just read maybe a simple couple sentences in your book.
Okay. All right. It was an odd experience to shop alone in a clothing store like this. She hadn't done such a thing in a long time, and as she changed in the dressing room, she felt more carefree than she had in years.
Whew, that was fast. How do you think that felt?
It was fast, and yeah, I did run out of air a little bit.
Do you feel like it was effortful, like you had to use a lot of effort to produce your phrases? Yeah, so let me read it for you. It was an odd experience to shop alone in a clothing store like this. She hadn't done such a thing in a long time, and as she changed in the dressing room, she felt more carefree than she had in years. How did that sound?
Good.
Did I sound like I was using a lot of effort to produce my sentences?
No.
No, and that's kind of what I want you to do today. So we're going to begin by counting with a chant, so I'll do it first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to have you do it, but do you have any questions? I should have asked you this before. Do you have any questions before you do this?
No.
Okay, so can you do that now?
1, 2, 3, 4,
so you have the chant down, but you're still producing that hard onset at the beginning of each number. So I want you to do a nice light onset, like I'll do it again for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you try that again for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Which one was more effortful for you?
The first one?
Yeah, the first one, because you were using that hard onset, and I noticed you were running out of breath a lot quicker. Now we're going to do the days of the week up until Thursday. So why don't you try and I'll see how you do.
Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Good.
Friday.
You can stop right there.
Got it scared away.
So that was good. I'm going to do it for you just as an example, and then we'll do it again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So do you see how I'm doing it nice and on one pitch?
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing a lot better. So now we're going to do it, and we're going to kind of go low on that Thursday. So watch me. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I want you to do that.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Good. That was perfect. All right. So now I'm going to have you say that same paragraph again, and I want you to see if you can chant it. I want you to blend your words together.
Okay. This might be tricky. It was an odd experience.
That was perfect. And I know, obviously, we're not going to end up talking like this, but it's just a way of helping you to have an easy vocal onset and to reduce that vocal hypertension. If we continue to do this, hopefully those muscles will be relaxed. And one thing too, it's important is to relax your whole body, because often when we are tense, we will show some tension in our oral and vocal areas. So do you have any questions for me today?
No.
No. So I'm going to send you home with some phrases. So here are these phrases that you can practice. Some of them are very functional phrases like, good morning, mother. So you can wake up your mom like that in the morning and see what she says. Or, how are you? And also using your book to use some of those phrases. Mm-hmm. So, yes, it's a different way of talking, but it will only be used briefly here as a voice training device. So thanks for coming in, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, till practice.
Thank you.
Thanks.